Hey, this is Ricky here. I'm a few hands in against an opponent here on full tilt, heads up 10-20. He's been playing very loose and making extremely interesting flop and turn calls here. This is a tough spot because I think sometimes you'll find a 5-6 here, but I think a lot of other times you're going to find like a 7-4 or 10-4. So I'm going to take my jacks up and assume that he has a lower two pair there. And indeed, that appears to be what it is, a 10-4 there. So ace-4 of hearts here on the button. I'll be raising probably 95% of my hands here. And this opponent has showed that he's going to call me down extremely light, which makes value betting very easy, and it makes bluffing quite hard. And he's called me down there all the way to the river with just king high, and he probably would have called that river king high and improved there. Going to go ahead and take the initiative here, bet the flop, continue to take this pot down. We're going to raise king 5 here. It's pretty standard. This will be a bet, and I'll probably just fold if he's able to check raise this flop right here, as even if he's drawing with a couple of overs right there, he's in pretty good shape. So we're just going to give up on that flop right there. Bottom pair, no kicker. A lot of people would advocate check raising right there. I think I'm just going to check call all the way down and allow him to barrel off if he's bluffing. And I probably would have folded that river there, as that I don't really consider this opponent with a 1 aggression factor, although through 14 hands capable of 3-barrel bluffing this early on in the match. This is a hand here where I'm going to go ahead and bet the turn, and I'll fold to a check raise. Had that not have been a diamond, I would have opted to check behind on the turn and call it a river bluff, or a river bet in an attempt to go to showdown. But being that that was a diamond right there, I didn't want to let him to draw for free, so I'm going to go ahead and fold to a check raise there. And as his numbers become more apparent here, this will be just a check fold. It seems like he's probably less likely to be making moves on me here. An over and a gut shot here. Obviously a continuation bet. He's raised about every single button here. And these are flops that you can oftentimes attack, but the fact that I've seen him call me with 2 undercards before with no draw on a flop means that he's probably going to take me to showdown fairly light here, so I need something going on in the hand to try to make moves at this one. Bottom pair here, no heart. This will be the same situation. I'm going to go ahead and bet the turn, assuming he's on a draw. I would have folded to a check raise, but I can't give away free cards there in an attempt to go to showdown. This will be an automatic 3-bet as he's, again, raised every button. This is the second time he's capped, and I haven't seen it yet. This hand will be going to showdown. I'm just going to opt to call here and allow him to bet away. And he's capping with ace-10, which is not a bad play. But you always want to kind of see what people are up to when they put a cap in there. So we flopped middle pair here on a fairly drawy board. This is a good turn card for us. He's now check raised the turn several times, and I haven't had an opportunity to see what he's up to here, but this will be one of those times. So, and he flops top and bottom pair, which is fairly easy to check call, check raise. I flopped bottom pair here with a backdoor diamond draw, and opt to check raise on this one. A lot of times, if it's like on that last one, if that's a queen 10 4 and I have 4-2 there, I will just proceed to check call down, as I don't think you have very much opportunity of making this opponent fold. King Jack quite ahead of his range, which appears to be anywhere between 90 and 100% raising on the button. But the fact that he didn't cap there means that this is clearly in his range. And now the river has obviously improved me to top pair, and it's an easy value bet. So let's see what he's calling me down there with, and it's king high. So again, this is not an opponent that I'm going to be able to, make any bluffs on or plays at. This is an opponent who's just going to be calling me down extremely late. I'm going to bet this turn, and if he raises, I'm going to 3-bet and make him show me the case 5 in the deck. More than likely here, this is just a 6 on the flop. Or turn 2. I think he might be slightly tilting now, so this is a good opportunity to throw in a little 3-bet with a 7-9 like that. Don't have a whole lot going for me here, but because it was capped pre-flop, there's no way you can fold that here on the flop and now on the turn, and don't have anything on the river. Don't think a bluff would have worked there regardless, so. Gonna bet the flop here, and he's able to make a laydown. So this opponent is playing somewhat straightforward, I'd say. Defending with a queen 4 suited. Players like this, out of position, there's no possible way with a 1 aggression factor that I'm going to slow play this hand at all. I'm just going to check raise and continue to bet down and assume that I'll get called by ace or king high here. Players with turn aggression factors there of, it was king high. Players with turn aggression factors, if their aggression factor is 1, their turn aggression factor is likely going to be low as well. And you don't want to take a chance of check call, check on the turn, and then give away all those free cards where he would have certainly paid for them. He's 3-bet me. I have 9-2 here. Technically, you're only supposed to fold here 1 out of 6 times. Being that a 2 isn't going to make me happy, and a 9, about 7% to hit on this card, I'm going to go ahead and lay it down here. But you have to find reasons to call when it's been 3-bet pre-flop. That's just one of those boards that I really can't go after. I'm going to check call on this flop here. Not a good turn card as it pairs the board. Means he's likely to barrel off again, and I'm just going to give up. Alright, I've been 3-bet. That hasn't happened a few times here. Unlike the other times where I flop bottom pair, because it's been 3-bet here, I want to try to pick this pot up immediately and kind of find out where I'm at in the flop. And the fact that he doesn't raise me on the flop, 3-bet me on the flop, tells me that my hand could be good. However, my opponent here appears to be absolutely in love with the turn check raise. Has won at showdown here. My HUD is 1 of 2. Win raise the turn. This is going to be a hand I'm going to give up. Maybe a call there. I don't know. It's pretty close. He doesn't cap here, and he's capped ace-10 before, so got to keep the pressure on him there. Especially since he's raising every single button. Bottom pair, no kicker here. I'd like a way to find to go to showdown, and this is a perfect example. I don't want to get blown off this hand. I see players do this all the time. I'm going to showdown with the hand. I'm not paying 2 bets on the turn and 1 on the river. I'm going to check behind, and I'm going to call a river bet and see if he's going to donk off on the river. I don't see any value really in betting here. I don't think I can get him to call me with queen high. There's a slight possibility he has pocket 3s or pocket 4s or something like that. I'm going to go ahead and be happy that I get the showdown there. And he has 3 8 of hearts there, so actually that would have been a good turn bet. Flop trip 4s. There's never any reason to slow play this hand right here, especially since my opponent's not going to give me credit for anything. If he check raises this turn here, I'm going to put a 3rd bet in. And if he checks this river, I'm going to go ahead and bet for value. And I think that's important to value bet that river there, because if he donks that river, there's no possible way you're folding. However, checking down that hand there on the river is never really a thought for me there. So I have 3-bet and flop trip 9s, top trips again. I'm going to go ahead and bet and put in a 3rd bet here. The fact that he doesn't cap tells me I'm likely ahead. A 4 straight board, 3rd diamond, not a good card, but we're still going to go ahead and bet for value. And he shows a turn pair, which that's twice now he's able to raise the turn with 3rd pair that he just gets on the turn, if you remember back to that ace-2 hand. This is one of those opportunities where I've got to try to kind of make something happen here when it's been 3-bet free flop. I'm happy I've turned a pair. I will be calling him down. And if checking, I will be betting for value, assuming that he has ace-high here. And they make it so easy. Oh, and he has a little bit less than ace-high with a queen-high there. So value betting this opponent is quite easy. Flop the bottom pair here. I would expect tilt to turn here at any point. All right, here's another situation there where he's raised pre-flop. He could have the ace. I'm not getting blown off this hand with 2 bets. So I'm going to check call, and allow him to just throw more money in the pot there. Queen 9, bottom pair, queen of spades is a good card. I'm going to go ahead and keep the action here on the flop. He's capped it here. Sometimes you'll see opponents just try to get it all in here, which I assume is what he's... he could have easily had a 10 there. I'm going to go ahead and bet for value. And I'm going to sit out here with $10. Possibly wait for him to reload. So, oh, he did. We're back. I'll go back to that last hand there and see what he had. And he did flop top pair, so it's unfortunate that I hit that card on the turn there. Very little fold equity. Again, these are really good, sometimes flops to attack, but I don't think I have very much fold equity against this opponent who's been constantly calling me down with king and queen high. And I look him up in my poker tracker over here, Oren HUD, and I'm going to see that his win to showdown is 52%, so he's calling me down again very lightly. Maybe in later videos I can get to optimal win to showdown and won at showdowns and heads up limit hold'em. Rebetting me. This is one of those opportunities. I see he could do this with queen 8 and a lot of numbers in position. A lot of hands here in position. I'm going to go ahead and peel off there. He continues to fire. Turn aggression factor 1.2. Fairly low. Could mean he has a good hand, but again, no fold equity and trying to make a play at this pot right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and give it up. He has continue bet all flops. I'm going to go ahead and bet this here. I will be calling a raise and check calling the river. And we've seen time and time again here that he's able to take the turn pair and just assume it's good no matter what it is. So maybe a little bit more information in the time being. But considering I had to call a turn bet there because I turned an open-ended draw, and then the river there is laying me about 10-1. I'm not going to fold that pair there. I haven't seen him bluffing yet. I'm going to go ahead and lay the hand down. Alright, I flop top pair. Again, he will continue bet the flop, but I've seen him check behind in the turn. I'm going to go ahead and ram this in here now. And assume that he can't continue to just hit turn a pair and raise me. This is possible that he has ace-4. It's also possible that he turned a pair or rivered a pair of 3s. Quite unfortunate there, as he's got about a 15% chance to win that hand on the turn. So making him draw, and he'll obviously pay to draw. So this is your pre-flop's not that bad, but his post-flop leaves a lot to be desired. I want to make a play at this here. I haven't made a play at a pot in a while. Bet flop, bet turn. He's able to raise. I'm able to fold. flop the nuts. Just gonna, continue to bet here. Now, a little bit difference here is if I call, I'm pretty sure he's gonna lead the turn. I'm gonna pop him on the turn. He might even be able to 3-bet there. It'd be great, and this is exactly what that was. He has an 8 on the flop here, so he's river to straight. So he'll certainly pay off another river bet. An 8-10 there. So, what is he going to do? Ace-4 of clubs, a 3-bet here. I'm taking this hand to showdown, I believe. I don't want to have to pay 2 bets here. I don't know how much fold equity I have, so I'm going to check call. And I might even check fold this river if I don't improve. And this 4 doesn't help my hand at all. It doesn't play into effect. I don't think he'd bet like an ace-7 or an ace-6 here. So if he's able to bet the river, probably a fold, as that pair on the river doesn't help me at all. And we've shown he's he's not able to make real thin value bets there. So middle pair, up and down straight draw. This is one of those situations where he's just killing me on the turn with these check raises. I could 3-bet this, take a free showdown raise. Now it looks like I'm going to have to get there, and I will be folding to a river bet here. Even though I'm getting 11-1, I think there's no possible way my hand's good. The thought on the turn where was to go ahead and put a free showdown raise in, but it also gives me the situation where if I improve on the river, I can make an extra bet. And I feel very confident there that was there's no way he was making a move on me there. So I just happened to have ran into a hand that was much better than one pair there. A lot of aces in his range here. It's a tough spot. I don't want to be raised off this hand. However, I might be missing a bet if I check and he has a hand like King Jack or King Queen there. So clearly a river bet there was in order. However, him capping looked like possibly a big ace there. And his VPIP from the small blind is about 90%. So looks like he's possibly playing about the 90%. And open-ended straight draw here. Possibly could have hit him. If he's able to raise that turn, I'm gonna go ahead and fold to a raise there. I think HUD's important when you're playing heads up too, because you want to see what kind of who's in control. My aggression factor is double his right now. So if you're ever in a situation where a person is running you over, and you're just kind of into a spot where you're like make a hand and bet it, and you're in that spot, it's not a good spot to be in limit heads up hold'em. I'm probably going to go ahead and pay it off for the first time with ace high here and hope he has a draw. Yeah, and he does. He does have a draw there. So as the board became more and more paired there on the river. 3-8 I just folded last time. I probably should have folded this time. Still talking. I'm going to peel one off here, see if I can turn something that makes it a little bit better for me, and fold the turn. Ace Queen would have been a 3-bet, of course. Ace 2 of diamonds. Raise. A lot of times in flops like that, I'll get into that later, but I might check behind on the flop and raise the turn for a free showdown, as it looks so suspicious to a really good player. But I don't think I have a very thinking player here. I think we've just got a good opponent for limit heads up hold. Okay, we flop top pair. Obviously going to bet it. If he's able to check raise this here, my hand's not as strong as when I waited to raise on the turn with the ace 4 of hearts. So I would have just 3-bet him right off the bat right there, and pounded my hand while I felt it was good. 8-5 of clubs. Haven't done this much. Going to go ahead and throw in a cap here with a real marginal hand and see if I can take it off of him, because he's been 3-betting me with a lot of hands like King, Jack, and so forth. And now I've hit a pair of 8s on the river, and it becomes a very easy value bet against Ace High, possibly King High. Yeah, 10-4 of hearts. And my opponent here has made some hero calls, so this will oftentimes set him into tilt. And this is a hand where I would expect it to happen, so I'm just going to check call, check call, check call, and hope my hand's good here. Yeah, just let him barrel off any type of move at that pot, and he's going to give up. Bottom pair, because it's been 3-bet, very important. Let's try to take the hand down now and see what's going on. He's been check raising the turn a lot. I'm going to check behind and not get raised. And, that queen could have easily given him the best hand there on the river. If he checks, we're going to bet for value with bottom pair here. And he's able to check raise the river. This is a hell of a spot to be in. My opponent's river aggression factor is 0.91. Not sure if you guys can see that. I don't have any data for one at showdown. Well, one at showdown when raise the river is 2 of 3. I just can't see my hand being good here. I'm going to lay it down. Might be a tight fold. I just don't see him making a river bluff on me right there. Not even 1 out of 8 times. Going to check raise this flop, see if I can get something going. I don't. I now turn an open-ended straight draw, and I will be check raising the river if I got there. I didn't. He has ace king, and he's not going anywhere. So, out of all his 90% of the range, that was possibly the wrong time to make a move out there. I'm going to bet the flop, see if he'll give up here on the turn. He's check raised the turn. Might prevent me from betting the turn as liberally now, as he's really taking advantage of check raising the turn, and I haven't got to see showdowns a lot with him doing this yet. However, I have not caught him making a move yet as well. 3-bet the flop, take a free turn on. He's not allowing me to do that. It's so odd with his aggression factor. And now we're going to see what he's up to there. And it's just a draw. So, maybe a little less credence to his turn check raise there, as he went absolutely bananas with an up and down draw there. Flop the bottom pair here. Never like being called. I'm not folding to a check raise. I'm checking behind. I don't care if I give him a free card. That's the reason right there. Flopped a flush draw and standard check raise and got him to lay it down. I'm going to bet 1 bet on this one here. If I don't improve, which I don't, I'm checking behind the turn and folding the river. King 10 well above his hand range there on the button. If he's able to raise the turn, this is a tough spot here. I think I'm going to check. I hate him betting the river here. However, the only time I saw him bluff the river was when he had a draw and was bluffing the whole time. So, although I have a fair amount of equity, I'm going to go ahead and lay it down. Peel 1. Being that there's 3 clubs out there, just going to go ahead and fold on the turn. I'm going to donk this flop here. I haven't donked any flops yet. Just kind of see how he reacts to it. Donk the turn, and looks like check fold the river here. And he's got ace high, and he's certainly not going to fold that. That's a good opportunity there to see that he's not that with ace high he is checking down. So those hands earlier are either total bluffs or value bets. Not real drawy here. I'm just going to go ahead and call down. Hope that my hand's good, and it's outkicked by a few there. So ace jack is a 3-bet. And took it down there on the turn. Pocket fours. I'm going to check behind on this turn, keep the pot small, see if he'll bet, bluff the river. And again, this kind of shows the mindset there, because I don't think that was a bluff. Possibly he thinks he's value betting a bottom pair there. I think more often than not he just sees he has a pair and he's going to bet it. And you can see a lot of times this will happen against kind of passive opponents when they're playing heads up after they've been run over, as they just start to lose control. And if you remember, probably 50 hands ago, his aggression factor was around 0.8 or 0.7, and now it's gotten quite a bit higher here. Probably him tired of getting run over at the table. Okay, I flopped a set here. I don't think he'll continue bet the turn without a big hand here. So that's a great turn card for me, because he's of course got the ace and he's going to donk it out, and his hand's just going to be no good. The best possible hand here would be ace jack, in which case he tries to get a check raise in, but it's probably like ace 10 or so, something along those lines. Ace 9. So I've got 3-2 here. I flop essentially nothing. The two of hearts is a flush draw. I'm going to go ahead and peel one off here. Now I've turned a flush, so this will be a check call. And I think if he bets the river here, I might even be able to find a fold. Because I don't think he'd bet a 4 flush here on the river for value with just less than a flush. However, he's only going to have a flush here 1 out of 3 times. I'm going to go ahead and pay it off. And instincts were right. That should have been a fold there on the river. Bottom pair, because it's been 3-bet, we're going to initiate the action. He's slowed down. Of course, the ace hits the turn, a worse card. I'm going to go ahead and fold. Because I know for a fact that every time he's done this, he's had the ace. He can have the hand if he's that advanced to go ahead and pull that off there. So going to make a move at this pot here. Going to check down and hope he has a hand like queen jack or something like that. But he has had ace high a lot in this match, and he's taken it to showdown 50% of the time still, which is very high, and heads up. This is a free showdown, or a free turn raise here. Even though he's just called, I just assume I'm going to be set up for the turn check raise, so with very little fold equity. And now I'm going to donk off and pay a river bet. And he actually did bluff the turn there, so, or bluff the river, so a little bit different information. Ducks on the button. Standard bet. I'm going to bet the turn here if he's able to check raise the turn. I can't see my hand being good, but I think it's important to bet that ace there. My 2s aren't quite strong enough to make the statement that I'm taking this hand to showdown. I'm going to check call, check fold this hand, I believe. And now there's a full house on board, so assuming he doesn't have a bigger pair there, it would have been a split pot there on the river with 2 pair jacks. 2 pair with the jack kicker. And I don't feel like this opponent would have known how to value bet an ace high there as well. He is yet to limp the button. this will be a perfect board to attack here. Bet flop, bet turn, and take it down. A good thing to notice when you're playing a player is his aggression factor by street, and I almost always, I'm not going to raise here because last time I raised for a free showdown, which would be definitely a viable option here with top pair and an up and down straight draw, he went ahead and capped it. So I'm just going to let him continue to bet, and I'm assuming when he check raises the turn, he's got better than one pair there, but he was actually doing that with a turn pair and draw. So the 3-bet would have been actually optimal there. So, but yeah, well, like I was saying, a good thing to notice when people are playing their aggression factor by street, and it just screams a player you want to play. Whenever their aggression factor gets higher as the streets get on, and this player here has a 1 flop aggression, 1.9 turn aggression, and then 2.2 river aggression. So essentially, he's the kind of guy you want to be playing. Pocket nines, premium hand here. Obviously 3-bet. Bet the flop. I'm going to go ahead and bet call the turn. He's hit a lot of turns on me today, I think. We're just flopped Jack 2, top and bottom. It's an easy game, right? I'm going to check behind on this turn here, or this flop here. I'm going to raise this turn. Nope, looks like he's going to check raise me on this turn. And my hand's no good, folding. Especially since the pot was a little smaller as I didn't bet the flop. Top pair jack kicker, 3-bet, he folds. I'm going to throw the cap in here. I've got to eventually hit one of my hands here where and he just continues to bet, and he's going to go ahead and take that one down. The video is approaching 32 minutes here. I'll probably continue to play him for a little bit longer, but it's my inaugural video. Let me know what you think. All right, bye.